And so the list of demolished franchises, which includes Star Trek, Doctor Who, Ghostbusters, Star Wars, Game of Thrones, and The Terminator, among many others, is about to have James Bond added. The film series, based on Ian Fleming's novels, has been delighting fans since 1962, and 2019 can't have that. Bond's womanizing ways are about to become the subject of mockery. Doesn't that sound like fun? The news is a few months old, but The Guardian, oh goody, decided to expand on this upcoming dumpster fire last week. Phoebe Waller-Bridge, new Bond film must treat women properly, even if he doesn't. We all know where this is going, don't we? Just to remind you, Waller-Bridge voiced the SJW robot in Solo: A Star Wars Story. You know, that film that made a ton of money for Disney. News of the recruitment of Phoebe Waller-Bridge to polish the script of the 25th James Bond film was met with relief from fans fretful about the film's hitherto bumpy pre-production. Relief? Relief from who? This fictional fan base we keep hearing about? Actually, the typical reaction when we find that identity politics is about to take something over is, just burn it down already. Waller-Bridge, who's highly acclaimed, well, we all know how much we trust the critics. Second season of Fleabag has just begun its run in the US. I think I got fleas just watching that shit. Was brought on board in April to enliven, that's an interesting way to describe it, a screenplay that had already been through multiple drafts. So let's just turn it into shit. That's sure to solve the problem, apparently at the request of star Daniel Craig. What the hell, Craig? Remember back in 2006 when Daniel Craig began his tenure as Bond? We were all like, holy shit, this is awesome. Something tells me that when we see Bond 25, we'll be saying holy shit again, but from within a slightly different context. Speaking to Deadline, Waller-Bridge downplayed her centrality to the script, but she confirmed she was treating the gender politics of the character seriously. Jesus Christ! There's been a lot of talk about whether or not the Bond franchise is relevant now because of who he is and the way he treats women. Just shoot me. Please just shoot me now. I think that's bollocks. I think he's absolutely relevant now. Oh, for the love of God, once again, we all know where this is going. It just had to grow. It just had to evolve. And the most important thing is that the film treats the women properly. He doesn't have to. He needs to be true to his character. So there we have it. James Bond is about to become a caricature, a filmic representation of toxic masculinity. That's right, our favorite womanizing British spy is about to become a cartoon character. The James Bond franchise is about to become a toxic and hateful parody of itself. The second woman in the history of the franchise to gain a script credit following Joanna Harwood, who co-wrote 1962's Dr. No and 1963's From Russia with Love, Waller-Bridge continued by saying that she wanted to ensure the female characters in the new film felt like real people. Feminist characters do not come off as real people. They are more like supervillains that blame everybody else for the fact that they suck at life. I will also add, while yes, there are female fans of the Bond franchise, its fan base has always been predominantly male, so it comes as no surprise that most films have been adapted or written by men, you idiot. I just want to make sure that when we get those pages through, that Lashana, Leia, and Anna open them up and go, I can't wait to do that. As an actress, I very rarely had that feeling in my career. That brings me much pleasure, knowing that I'm giving that to an actress. Well, maybe that just means you don't have any enthusiasm for your craft, unless it allows you an opportunity to shit on men. I'm sure you were excited to play the SJW robot, that robot that many people think is what finally killed off the Star Wars franchise for good. As yet untitled, the 25th Bond film will be directed by Cary Fukunaga, followed by the departure of Danny Boyle due to, quote, creative differences last year. Boyle recently confirmed rumors that these differences centered on the script he and long-term collaborator John Hodge had written. Yep, the script wasn't working, so let's just turn it into a feminist SJW shitfest, because that has worked so well in the past. Production was put back to allow time for the production of a new script by Bond veterans Neil Purvis and Robert Wade, and this was then overhauled by Bourne Ultimatum writer Scott Z. Burns. Filming finally began in late April, but this was put on hold again a fortnight later, following a serious ankle injury sustained by Daniel Craig, and that ankle injury was the catalyst for the destruction of the entire Bond franchise. Waller-Bridge said she had long been drawn to Craig's interpretation of the character. When I saw his Bond for the first time, there was a wryness to his performance that I really loved, she said, so I was really excited about writing dialogue for him. I mean, the script was there. It's already there, and I think it's unfair to say that I'm writing the script. Well, I tend to think that maybe you like Bond's character, but you also thought his toxic masculinity needed to be beaten out of him. As for writing the script, your ego has taken it over, and don't try to convince us otherwise. Bond 25 features Bohemian Rhapsody star Rami Malek as the lead villain. Well, he does look nuts, alongside returning M16 cast Ralph Fiennes, Naomi Harris, Ben Whishaw, and Rory Marie Kinnear, all to have their toxic masculinity beat out of them for sure. According to the Daily Mail, Baz, whose last name I can't pronounce, the new script's subject matter is genetic engineering. I think you mean social engineering. And Waller-Bridge was brought on board in part because she could comprehend it. There aren't many people in the world bright enough to bring some humor to the topic of genetics and the Human Genome Project. Well, feminists don't understand humor, so best of luck with that. I keep hearing that Waller-Bridge is one of the most in-demand writers in Hollywood. I just don't get it. I'm all for female writers, but I want their selection to be based on their talent, not ideology. Are you really telling me that this feminist hack is the most talented female writer out there? I highly doubt it. Hollywood, please get your head out of your ass before you're nothing but a smoldering crater. And that's it for today. Don't forget to subscribe and make sure you're still subscribed because YouTube is deleting subscribers, and follow me on Twitter. And as always, everyone, thank you for watching and have a great day.